Yo, welcome to this tutorial about my track Rave that's included in the album under my video. It's called Universal in with U point N point I point V point E point R point S point A point L point. It was a fun fact to make this. Yeah, I want to stand out with, because the track of the album is called Universal, and I would want to make a unique cover art, and I used a special app to overlap the pictures. And this album will be out on 16th of September on Spotify and all streaming platforms and all stores to buy as an album online. Yeah, and let's start to the tutorial about the track Rave that's sounding like that. Yeah, and this is an amazing track. I think it's one of the best track of the album. And yeah, where to start? First of all, the main thing on this is I ended up with the melody at the end. Normally I use the melody to produce it at the beginning, and if you can see that, oh sorry, I mean you can see I produce with Ableton, the DAW Ableton. I use it since 2015. I'm a Viper. I produce music since 2015 too. That means I have some experience with sound design, with mixing, because I produce all my tracks by myself. And let's start the tutorial. First of all, I should show you the ideas, how I create the melodies, the ideas. Maybe I start with the easiest thing. It was the bass, sounding like that, as the sub bass. Sorry, the main bass was this, I guess. Yeah, and together with the layer, it was this sound. So I started up maybe at a point where the song is not playing because several reasons, because the CPU and because I don't show you the arrangement right now. On that point of the tutorial, I show you how I create the sounds, because that is how we start. And it's simple. I used just one note, if you can see here. And Rhythm did the rest. I used a free bass, I guess, standard. No, I sound designed this bass. I sound designed by myself. I searched for a bass that's wide, so I used a saw bass. It's not a typical bass. It's it's a mid bass. You can also see what I did on the bass. I did an EQ on it, a compressor, reverb, and a lot of reverb. Maybe especially on the how to say, on the layer of the bass. You can hear here just the sound, to make the sound of the bass fuller, and together both bass sounding like that. And I show you only the main bass, then you know what I mean. This sounds very empty, and then I added a lot of reverb on top of the support bass, and then it sounds so full. And I keep it short with the decay of the bass for rhythm. And yeah, the note is, I guess it was A sharp. This I think it was the key of this of the root track. Yeah, it's the key of the root track, A sharp in 124.23 BPM. And yeah, it's here you can see the settings on the reverb. I show you everything without the reverb. The init preset itself. Okay, that there was no reverb. This was the init. And with the reverb, I changed on reverb the pre-delay to make a bit delay on the reverb, and so like this stuff. A lot of diffuse reflect on the pre-delay. Not that much decay time. The size is full, and the stereo sound of the reverb is full too. And I made a red of 69%. I want to make it not too wet. I can show you what it makes with the sound. It makes it very washy. And it's to lessen volume. And here it's very bright, not very present, and I want to make the reverb just descend on the mix. So I let it on that. I want that you can hear the reverb, but not too much. The next instrument was, I guess, this basic plug radar. It's a stock plug-in on Ableton. And yeah, I added the reverb too, but another melody. The first melody I created. It was so funny. I tried out a lot of melodies, a lot of sound design stuff, and I came up with that as a break. And I tested it with the bass, and it sounded amazing. And here you can see why it's off key, because to make it more rhythm, when I add the kick drum and the layer of this basic radar bass, such the same thing, like same effect like on the bass. With the reverb, it sounds more full. Here you can hear difference without the reverb on this plug. It sounds first of all louder, next of all fuller, and that's all what I needed on the sound. Full sound on the leads, plugs, and basses. Together with the sub bass was the same bass note, but I tried to do it on that point here, same point like the how to say it, like the bass, but it sounds very not good enough. I'll show you the difference. For me, it sounded not very rhythmical. and then it sounds very rhythmic, and because you change the one bass and another bass, and the bass is before and is the sub bass. You don't really hear it in the main mix, but if you play all instruments with the kick drum, and also especially with the kick drum, and now without the just the bass and the sub bass, or let me show on the plug, maybe you can hear it better. Without a sub, very empty, and when the sub bass come in, don't know if you really hear the difference. It gives this feeling that is more in rhythm, and when the bass came in, I show you the difference without the sub bass. So it's very generic. With this sub bass, it sounds more how to say it, more humanly, not humanly, more like a rhythm a human create, not a robot. How to say it? It's more don't know the word, but I think you know what I mean. Like if you imagine drum kit, I've mean or not even that, but drums on a garage, or and so you play the drums, and there's one rhythm and it's the same rhythm without changing, so it's very boring. So I changed the sub bass. It's a little thing, but the mix it made so much difference. The next up, all the standard things, the clap, and on the clap I can recommend, not on each track, but on some tracks, to make the, you can see when I zoom it, when I zoom the kick drum, um, no, the clap, there's a little gap between it. So it means if it would be, I can show you the difference. Just here you see the gap, and I let the gap array. It sounds more generic, or not organic. Yes, that was maybe the word I was searching for. Very straight and very not very variable. So it means it has no movement in the track itself. And when it's a little bit changed, it sounds, if you edit, you recorded the clap, and it sounds more like a Unity. I don't know who said that so to me, but one one good friend of mine said to me, it should be sound like it's more a human sound, not a robot sound, or not machine made. And that's very important, that you can feel the music. You can do it with little things, by telling a story, or doing gaps between claps, and adding on the snare the gaps, to let the gaps, or make the gaps less. And there I made it on point, the snare, and also the tight snare. I used the tight snare from the of the sound of Kashmir Volume 1, and so the snare sounded like that, because I used a sweep snare. This sound I used so long, not before, not so long time before, and long time before, yes. So And for those who don't know me, I'm from Germany. I'm a producer, and you can find my link tree in the description. You can check out all my YouTube videos here on my channel. You can also subscribe if you like it. Give the videos a thumb up if you like it too. And you can find there all my music on my SoundCloud, my Spotify, my Instagram, my TikTok, and all this stuff. And let's sorry, let's continue with the tutorial. So all percussion without those hi-hats sounded like that. Together with the kick drum, only the groove. Very simple. With the sub bass again, it sounds more organic, more how to explain it? I think you know what I mean. It's more, there's more movement, more dance feeling. I mean, you don't recognize it so much, but with the sub bass, you can feel the sub on the bass. It means the low frequencies, and these low frequencies gives you this. When you hear it very loud in the song, you can feel the bass, and that's very amazing. And together with the bass itself, it sounded on that point like that. Then what I created after it, what I showed you before, I mean. Yeah, and then I thought that was it with the hi-hats. I explain next, but I got feedback that I need a main melody, and for that melody I come to the melody layer, and now I explain you the hi-hats, and there was no so much changings. I don't I think I forgot something to explain on the clap. Yeah, I added on the clap a little changing on the pre-delay. So I show you the meaning. It's on the reverb. I think it's just a little. You can't really hear it, but I can show you the settings. Here are just little things. Can show you without it, without the reverb. Just a clap with it. It sounds more like a real clap. Yeah, it's hard to explain, but I know some of you know what I mean. Next up, the hi-hats. Yeah, the previous, before I added all the arrangement stuff, and then I added the melody, and then I arranged a new rate. But I think I forgot. I forgot. You explained the synth and then the melody. But I came to that on the end of the ideas, and then to the arrangement. This will be a long tutorial because I made it I think 8 hours or 9 hours. You see it has over 21 or over 20 channels, and yeah, so a lot of own design stuff. Yeah, and a group. So I explain the group later why I added a group. And the hi-hats is just on the point the kick drum was on the first point of the of one bar. So each kick drum there was not really this typical yeah I typical for for house or something is And for this I used hi-hats like this, a faster one, because I want to make a rhythm, not just hi-hat. So with all together, you know what I mean with that. When I play all the percussions without the bass, makes sense. Instead like this. And I changed the rules of the hi-hats. Maybe we often use. First of all, I played the closed hi-hat before, after the open hi-hat. No, normally you do the opposite, but there was also two closed hi-hats, and for that I used just this. I was thinking about that, but when I played it with the rest, imagine it with the rest, instead this instead like that. I mean, you don't hear really the difference, but I think that sounds very faster in the music, and I liked it more. I added this changing on the hi-hats. Yeah, the rest was history of finding the ideas. I want to make a future rave style track on that point. It was not that easy to find a difference between that melody and that melodies, but if you play it together, it makes sense. Oh, sorry. I mean, for solo, it don't make sense, and I have some plays on the arrangement. You see it here, who both plays together because it doesn't fit. But I explained that later. But with the bass, it makes more rhythm. The bass made 90% of the rhythm on this track, so it means it sound with the bass like that. And it was a wonder, because with the bass together, it sounded like a real rhythm, and without, well, it was very weird. It sounded not like a completely track. It sounded very messy, but I played the track together with it. Then I thought I will do that. It sounds a bit off key. It's off key little things, not off key of rhythm, but it was intended. Intended, yes. And I think the melody was made. Yeah, the notes are similar. Was in harmony together, because not each note, but you see here's a changing. But I guess I started with the rule melody of this future rave lead sound. You can listen to here. Yeah, I sound designed it by my own. It's not that hard to explain. You use just two saw raves, waveforms, and made it -1 in octave of the oscillators. A little bit aggregator on it, short aggregator. At that point, 160 delay time. I don't know what that means. The D point, or yes, and a little bit reverb, equalizer, filter. Not that much stuff. Yeah, and I think I don't edit. Yes, I added for the sub on the melody. You can hear it. No, I don't. I try to add a sub um on the thing, but I was thinking about I had a sub before, I had a bass before who has sub bass, and yes, that was it. And the point. And the melody you can see here. It's very simple gallop sound. So it means in the key and in the key one octave higher. I was so struggling with the melody because I want to make it did, and so things. I left it uh, that rhythm. It's a little bit little of syncope. I mean, I added here, the rhythm is here like the same like here, but it changed on several points, like the ending of the man, sorry, um, my my how to explain it? There are double notes of the on the key, and it makes this faster rhythm. I like that, and yeah, I added this 2 times. I was thinking about it more times. It's in 16 bars. I guess when I made it longer, it was would be too long. Now we came to the silent one. Another silent one. I use only silent. My noise is. I don't know what was the noise today. Hope it doesn't. Oh, it's yes. Um, so there's a reverb on it, and the main volume I changed one time in the mixing, but there was the one lead sound I used from the stock in bank of this. I don't had time. Not I had the time, but I had not much inspiration. So I go for this all the lead sounds. Okay, it was one of the first, but I was thinking maybe I use a big five lead. I changed some things on it. Or I changed not that much. I added an applicator, I guess, or I changed the applicator, some reverb stuff. So I think it was so nicely with the reverb. I, sh- I played with the main melody. Yeah, and there I want to add a changing to the melody because it would sound very organic, not organic, very repetitive in the mixing. That's the right word. So I added some. The main melody is like that. And for those who recognize it, it's the same length of the, I mean 16 bars, but I added some notes between the notes, and I changed the notes on the key, and this was a long time. I think I needed 20 minutes or 10 minutes to edit this, to do this right. So let's continue. And we came to a part of the arrangement that wasn't even that easier part than finding the ideas. So first of all, I was thinking about not to start with all the elements. You see here in the intro, I just use this element of the melody, just the first 8 bars to build up a very straight to the beginning of the track, to straight to the rhythm. So it means, I will show you what I mean. I was thinking to choose the bass there because it is so in contrast of the rest, and then I build it up. I made the melody of this pluck sound here, and on how to say it, on constantly distance of the mix. I added the last or just I think, yeah, it was the first 4 bars of the melody, this green melody bar. So you mean it means that it's popping up sometimes, and then it goes Ray. You can hear it. And here was simply a riser on it and some white noise. Where's the white noise? Oh, okay. I have to reload the page. Reload not the page. I have to reload the project because my external data, how to say it in English, my external data was outside. I think that was the problem by Ableton, that it doesn't play this things where this was saved as. Just a little moment, I make a small recording pause between that. So here we go again. Hope now you can hear it. Yeah, sorry for that. Now you can hear it. I'll just save it. So yeah, and yeah, then I started this build up right before, just a little bit before this drop or this intro ends. And this, I did this often with some elements. Also, only just with the bass, not with the bass, because the bass was the main rhythm I explained before. And I changed on the melody, is on all the things. I changed the length of this repeating notes of the melody, or changed the. You can see it mostly. This is just different notes, but the same notes in the melody. The only thing I added on the melody, I left the melody itself, was on the breaks and on parts of the drop, like there. Just here. Yeah, in the first drop. But I guess I don't let the melody play. No, I don't let the melody play together with the bass and all the thing, because it was too messy. I had it before, and it's very exciting if you don't have everything together. Like you heard it before, it wasn't harmonic, and the melody is just there. It's the same. It seems like the same melody. Hear the difference here. seems like the same melody, but with some gaps, and that makes the difference between the drop and between the break. And I think this was interesting by Rave. And all the stuff you can see here in the arrangement is very pretty simple. I added the hi-hats very late. So I mean the rule intro you can't hear any hi-hat or clap. Just to make the another contrast, you can hear it in the drop hi-hat. And also I also made gaps between bass, between kick drums to make more this wow effect and these things where often label look at if producers did this in dance tracks. It's little secret maybe, more not more a secret like it was years before. That if you make a break before the drop hits with the kick drum, maybe can hear on that point I played it at the beginning. It's a long break, but it's so effective. You hear what I mean? Is you expect some stuff, and it comes another stuff. Some music. You have to expect the unexpected. That means that listener want to hear new things and new elements with the same elements, and it's not that easy to render. I know that, but I tried here on that, and I saw that it was off key here, but maybe that's a good thing. I didn't recognize it, but it sounds. Oh, that's maybe a mistake, but to make a mistake and it sounds good is a masterpiece on a track. That means it's good mixed. The ideas are good, and yeah, and to the kick drum I can explain the kick drum. I used this setting of the equalizer, just a low and a high kick. I recommend too. Then kick 2 on it. Kick 2 from Kick 2 by Sonic Academy, and I will link all the plugins I used above, under the description, in the description of the video. And if you want tips of music production, also write me a DM on my Instagram or my Facebook. I will reply as soon as possible, or just comment what you want to see in the next video, or if you want more of sound design stuff or tutorials like this. And yeah, the rest you see here, and I used a lot of sound of Kashmir white noises. Yeah, and a lot of some. This was I think I struggled a lot to where I used this kick drum. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 time in the track. It's very often. So, and now a little bit to the mastering, to the end of the video. I did a compressor on it. Oh, I forgot the sidechain. Oh no. Normally I do a sidechain on it. This was a mastering mistake, but it sounds good anyway because I don't think there's any changings between that. Yeah, I guess it's so good mastered because don't hear the difference between sidechain or within sidechain. Without, I don't know why. Maybe it's because of mastering and the layers. Um, I can say sometimes you don't hear sidechains, but sometimes you hear it a lot. Point, I think I forgot it or I left it. So on my settings, the high end, not that much, but I boosted it. And the mids I reduced a bit. The lows I pushed it on one side, another side I lowered it down. And I made the bass in mono and very low hearts, low frequency means low hearts, 70, about 70 and 75 hearts. Nicht Hertz, sorry. Yeah, yes, it's just wobbling the sound. Without all this, it sounded without all the mastering, it sounded very not finished. First of all, it sounded louder with the master and with compressor, multi-band dynamics, utility, and much finisher. Much more finished. Much, sorry, more finished. Yeah, I recognized to master, to produce everything by yourself, to learn music production the best way. And thank you for watching this tutorial. I will upload this for the spinning talent pool, this track, and will link the yeah, this little thing at the ending. Here you can see changing in reverb, changing the auto filter, some little changings to lower it down or make it up in the reverb. Yeah, to build it up here the breaks. Yeah, but that's detailed things. Yeah, I thank you. I know it's I'm so done now with speaking English. It's very hard sometimes for me to speak correctly English, but I guess it get better after the years. But thank you for watching this tutorial. Hope you liked it. Hope you learned some things about this track in your music production. Have some inspiration. Thank you for watching. See you next time, and feel free to follow the link in my link tree. Links to listen to my music on Spotify. And like I said at the beginning, this album, including this track here, is out soon. Next Friday on 16th of September 2022. I'm very excited for this one. So see you.